Hello everyone, welcome back to BBH Creates. Today I wanted to practice my video recording and editing, so I thought I would go ahead and flip my July junk journal, which was the first time I had ever done one of these. So I decided to go ahead and make the book that I was going to put all my junk in. And as the name implies, I took it literally, and I used old stationery and tried to use up some ends of washi tape, and I sealed it all and kept it in place by covering it with some tape. So let's get started. First, you might notice that the prompt list is last year's. I had done 2 to 3 prompts and I realized I was following along with the old itinerary, but I leaned in and I kept going. For the first spread, I kept things pretty clean, and that was purposeful because it's the start and I wanted to show a progression. Then I decided to recreate these sticker silhouettes that I had in one of my sticker anthology books by using stamps from pen pal letters and just other mail that I had received, and create the same silhouettes. On this spread, I took the opportunity to use some of my gift tags. Some of these are from LitJoy. Others were ones that were tucked into pen pal letters. This one here is one of James Luke Sparks' creations. Then on the next spread, it was supposed to be representative of transparency. So I had fun with this one, and I created these silhouette cutouts with my Silhouette Portrait 3 machine, and then I took little tissue paper dot confetti that I got in my Stationery Pal order and created the stained glass look. On the next spread, I decided to do a pull out of my washi tapes, my favorites, and my favorite rubber stamps. Next, we were practicing symmetry, so I just let myself be a kid, grab those colored pencils, and I went to town trying to create a symmetric piece of artwork. On the next page, you can see where I used up a lot of rub-on stickers, and I made a bouquet, and then to protect it, because they're rub-on transfers, I covered it with a piece of vellum. The theme for this next spread was a wallpaper, and I just took cherry blossom stickers and some word art stickers and created a duplicate pattern. On this next spread, you can see I really went to town with opposites. For all the circle punches on the left, I used a zigzag pattern paper, and then on the right I used a leaf plume paper, and then I just colored in all the negative space and opposite line direction. For the timeout spread, I used several different clock stickers and just used the letters to write them out all over the place. On this next spread, it was supposed to be an opportunity for us to practice fussy cutting. So I really had a good time going through all of my stacks of magazines and everything you get in the mail that you want to look at but you never do right then and there, and I just went through and I picked out some things that I liked, cut them out, and then just pasted them down. This next spread I had a lot of fun doing. Like I mentioned before, I pen pal a lot, and a lot of my pen pals send me tea because they know that I love to try teas. So what I did was, on the ones that I had duplicate teas, I took the bags and I made them into little different shapes of teacups. Drew some there. And then I took watercolor paper and I soaked some of it in the tea that I had prepared from the tea bags from the pen pals. And it was really interesting to see how the colors came out. Nothing like what the tea looked like. For example, this one here, the Wildberry Hibiscus, was a beautiful pink magenta tea, but the paper turned green. So that was a fun experiment. On this next page, I don't know if you can see it there a little bit, but I used my chrome marker and created these mirrors. And then I just took some of my favorite quotes that had to do with mirrors. Some are song lyrics, some are from movies, and I wrote them by each of the mirrors. On this next page, I had recently bought the Hemi gouache paints, and I wanted to use them. So rather than create a swatch page, I decided to do different colored leaves. And then I just put like a cheetah patterned letter to spell out nature. Now this is where the book starts to become tactile. This here is 2 different types of ribbons, and I fussy cut out the patterns of each of these flowers. And then the vine, each of the leaves, the lines on the leaves you can feel. And then I decided to add some pearl stickers to add just a little bit more shine. This next spread was a Victorian silhouette that I decided to do out of some scrapbook paper that I had, and I used my Silhouette Portrait 3 machine again to cut these. On this next spread, this is where we were to share our go-to palette of colors that we use the most often in our artwork. So I had fun using Tombow markers, zebra midliners, and also some Tombow Footinesque pens. Here I did some more of that fussy cutting. This is another sheet of scrapbook paper, and then I put one of my quotes that I like down. I collect quotes if you didn't know that. On this next page I decided to make pockets because the theme was all tucked in, and I wrote that here on this little placard. And then I put some details that pen pals had sent me, things that they had made for me in the pockets so that I could keep them there. And those were items that I received in the month of July, so it just made sense to me to add them into my junk journal. Even though they're not junk, they're special to me, but this journal was special to me. On this next spread, it was supposed to be black and white, and I got this really cool rolling stamp from one of my stationery companies that I frequent. And then I just put more of those rub-on stickers and some pearl stickers. Here we have another favorite quote of mine, and I decided to try to do a Sherlock Holmes out of a book print paper. And another quote where I got to use that chrome marker again, which I really, really like. And this page here was an opportunity for me to freestyle roses. And then I just went back through. These were first drawn with watercolor pencils. Then I dampened them out with a water brush. And then I went back in and put the finer details on. Here you can see more of those stamps from my pen pal letters that I collect and love, and I wanted to keep them, so I thought that the theme of Maximize was perfect to create an envelope. And this wax seal here is purposefully broken in half so that it will fit in the book, but this is supposed to be representative of all my pen pals that I have. This next spread was a lot of fun. I was able to take my favorite watercolor palette, which I don't know if you can tell or not, but it has glitter in it. It sparkles a lot. And I just went to town splattering. I really love to do that. because the theme was splatter. But you can see I made a spelling error there. So I leaned in and I slid a little L in there. On this spread, we were supposed to do stripped back. And for whatever reason, it came to my mind to tear strips of paper. So that's exactly what I did. I ripped up some pieces of paper that I thought were really pretty and that they went together. They were all pastels. And I just tore them up and pasted the strips all over the place. No particular order, just, you know, randomly. For the next spread, we're supposed to create something peaceful. So for me, I created 2 scenes. This is outside looking in, and this is inside looking out. So if you were inside like a little cottage, this would be the inside, and then outside. This next spread was supposed to be where we created a memento. So all the special things that I got that week, I put in this little envelope here. There's a recipe for my great-grandmother's kibasi rolls, a bookmark that my husband got me, and other special things. And then over on the right, I just wrote what each of them are, and put a sticker that a pen pal sent me. On this next spread, I was inspired to use a method that James Luke Burke often puts in his videos. Well, in one of his videos I saw, he did a whole spread on it, where he created stencils and then used stamp ink and went through and made the impression of the stencil with the stamp ink, which I thought was great. And then to just add a little bit to it, I just took a Sakura pen and scribbled these little flowers everywhere. Next we have the theme geometric, so I just had fun making shapes and I pasted those down. And then I added my favorite quote towards the end, and it says, "We don't walk away to teach people a lesson. We walk away because we finally learned ours." And the reason why I put that in there is because in the month of July, I felt like I was learning a lot, and a lot of it dealt with letting go, so I wanted to remember that. Then on our final spread, you might recognize these are James Luke Burke's Collage Club stickers, and I had finally gotten the sticker paper and ink to print them out. I was like 4 months behind. So I spent the day and I printed sheets after sheets after sheet, and I just decided to do the whole spread featuring his stickers, and then I used song lyrics to close out the book. And that's everything. If you would like to see these spreads up close or take another look and not rewatch the video, please, I would encourage you to check out my Instagram where I documented each page. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.